よいしょ。はい。
It's completely different from what Ilya said. This place looks like it's been done for a while.
なるほどな。
Contributing to the collective by only thinking to your strengths. How easy.
あ、いけない。なんだよ。出れねえのかよ。人の話が聞けるだけかな。
I'll hate them. Just thinking of that name fills me with hatred. We must get rid of him.
めっちゃ嫌われてる。なんで？アルハイゼンよりやべえのが来てると思わないのか、この状況を見て。天下の大マハマトラぞ。まあいいけどさ。
An entire year's worth of work down the drain. And for what? Your reputation? Do you have any idea how many people you've brought down?
You could have played hero any time. So why couldn't you have waited until the project was complete?
I don't understand what you guys are saying. Are you saying you don't care that Raju jumped to his death?
It's a shame. What happened to him? I thought he was stronger than
これはなるほどね。
Everyone has been working
この
hard
人
to
たちが
complete
悪
the
いん
project.
じゃん。
He could have endured for a bit longer. But he chose now of all times to...
In any case, we're done with you. Because of your recklessness, the Matra are putting Johnny on trial. This project is done for. None of this affects you at all. But do you know how many people, myself included, needed this project to complete their studies? Now our futures are up in the air. If worst comes to pass, we might not be able to graduate. Do you understand now?
I'm sorry.
There's no need for an apology. It's not like I'll accept it anyway. You'll pay for this.
でも、これはこの人たちが悪いんじゃないの？
Hey, you're blinking out again. What did you see this time?
Don't jump to conclusions just yet. Save your words for when we see him.
いやまあそりゃあって直接言うけどさ、ここなに？話しかけられないの？話しかけられない。そして戻ることもできない。あ、これ？死んだように寝ている。ふよーん。ここもお邪魔します。あ、誰もいなかったわ。じゃあ、あそこ、こう行って、こう行って、鍵持ってきたよ。ん？ちょっとよくわかんねえな。まあいいや。あ、なるほどね。あ、わかったわかった。ちょっと待って。で、これを取って、ここに、あ、なんだよ。あ、でもここが閉じても関係ないのか。パイモン優しい。間違ったら間違ってるって言ってくれる。で
？Well, Alias, this is all very strange. Is there really no research group that will take you? Well, to pass this course, you must complete a paper with other researchers. I know you're a hero for fighting academic fraud, but we can't make exceptions for heroes, now can we? Maybe you should try to improve your relationship with the other researchers. Huh? Getting a reputation for being too unconventional will not stand you in good stead in the long run.
I understand.
なるほどね。
You seem troubled.
Who are you?
Where are my manners? My name is Siraj.
Siraj. I've heard of you before. Do you need something from me?
The world hates people who don't fit in. I imagine you've had your fair share of trouble. After you reported Johnny for academic fraud, you were ostracized and shunned. Even your family can't understand your actions. However, I'm working on some research that will help you merge into a collective. That way, your life won't be so dolorous. How about it? Wanna have a go?
ああ、なるほどね。はいはい、そうやって。
What did you see?
Paimon can't believe it! He really did trick us! That giga jerk! No, Siraj is the real giga jerk here. Ilias is just a regular jerk.
パイモンちゃん。
Paimon's so mad! We're gonna find him and we're gonna make him explain himself!
まあ、わからんでもないけど、一人ぼっちって確かに寂しいもんな。で、こっち、あ、階段ありましたね。飛んじゃった。怒ってる怒ってる。
You've come. I intentionally slowed my integration into the collective consciousness because I wanted to see you one last time as Ilias. And I wanted to apologize to you as him. It was only at Gandharvaville that the second thing I must do occurred to me. Bring you all here. To throw off the Matra and bring Alhaitham to the hive.
ああ、なる
That
ほ
was
ど。
my task as Siraj number 36.
You were already Siraj number 36? But you passed the Matra's lie detector test!
Yes, I truly did forget many things during that time, even my identity and assigned responsibilities. However, it's not that I got scared and forgot. I chose to delete those memories. It's difficult to fool Alhaitham, so I had to create the perfect guise for myself.
そういうこと
And the
ね。
best guise is when you believe your own lies.
ああ、ここで
Correct.
そのセリフ。
I only told you that the hive was incomplete because I had deleted my memories of its completion. It was finished a long time ago. Before I left, I was already living as number 36. Now, I choose to return to that identity. Only here can I be truly free.
はあ。
That's all I wanted to say. After I enter this room, my consciousness will merge back into the collective. And so, this is goodbye.
Is this your decision?
Yeah, the person we know is Ilias, not Siraj number 36. The outside world is painful sometimes, but Paimon doesn't think that's a reason to run away.
Do you need more time to consider, Ilias?
Hey, who are...
That is Siraj.
So you're that giga jerk!
Giga jerk? How bold of you. Have I done something to offend you?
You!
I modified Akasha terminals to allow users to share memories and emotions. Then, I recruited researchers from the academia to build a collective consciousness.
それって。
I assigned numbers to everyone and divided the experiment's tasks amongst themselves. Here, people can live easily and happily without needing to exercise complex mental thought. This is what they have chosen. All I've done is fulfill their wishes.
You're just trying to justify yourself!
Then I ask you, what's the difference between here and the outside? There are researchers at the academia who engage in dangerous research in extreme environments while others become idle and listless. People are so
なんで
obsessed
ハイ
with
ゼンをここに
collective
連れて
will
きたかったんだ
that
ろう。
even those on the fringes will attempt to fit in after suffering setbacks. Isn't that right, Ilyas? There's no need to deny this, as it is fact. It is natural for social creatures to congregate together. And the terminus of conformity is a collective consciousness through which even an ordinary bee colony can become a powerful swarm.
ものすごく動
Replace the
物的な言い
bees
方
with
だな。
humans, and this model becomes even more potent. Welcome to the hive, Alhaitham. You once arrogantly denied the merits of this project
なるほど。
before the Grand Sage.
そこからなの。
Few simple words from you, and my research was consigned to nothingness. Of course, I'm well aware that you don't care about any of this. You don't care about the pain of others.
え、何
But
逆
I
恨み
didn't give up. I made my thesis into reality.
When we
よくわからない
arrived, I noticed many empty rooms in the hive.
Oh, you noticed that? Then can you guess where their inhabitants are? The answer is the academia. They're executing another phase of the plan. Plan to install me as a sage. The collective consciousness links all of us into a single mind, showcasing our individual strengths as we work together. We are able to execute complex undertakings while instantaneously modifying our strategies in response to unexpected situations.
はいはい。
Everything has been proceeding smoothly. You are our biggest obstacle. With you out of the way, I'll use my growing
ものすごい
influence to
邪魔
turn
者
the
扱いされ
collective
てるけど。
consciousness into a legitimate study. The project will snowball until ultimately everyone will be part of my hive. No. The hive will be in control. And it will lead the academia towards a new future.
We won't let you do this!
What can you achieve with mere words? You weren't even able to change Ilyas's mind. Return to the hive, number 36.
Yes.
Wait! Don't go back! Look! There are lots of people out there worried about you. And you aren't an outcast. Aren't we your friends?
That's easy for you to say, given that you're travelers. Will you two continue to stay at the academia? When you leave, tragedy will repeat itself. Return, number 36. You know as well as I do that comforting words don't make life any easier.
Ilias? Why?
You two are just as arrogant as Alhaitham. You think that everyone should be like you and live according to their own truths. But you don't realize that most people simply want easy lives. I allowed number 36 to leave the hive without his memories only because I knew he would eventually return. This proves that I know more about human nature than you do. Alhaitham, do say a word or two. I will consider them as your last.
I made those words quite clear a year ago. The model you presented was extremely unstable. No amount of garish packaging will change its fragile nature. It can't be helped. If you were clever enough to realize those problems, then you would have been aware that the hive changed when Ilyas returned to this collective consciousness of yours.
What?
What's happening?
What?
The collective needs motivation to execute its plans, just as machinery requires energy to operate. That's why you, as the Overmind, synchronized your hatred of me into the collective, prompting them to create and execute a plan to eliminate me. However, When Ilias returned to the collective, his memories and emotions were shared with the rest of its members. This includes his
あ
perception
あ、
of
なる
me.
ほどね。
Thanks for that. You know, you don't seem like such a bad person. Strange, isn't it? Why did I have those thoughts at that time?
This contradicts the hatred you had provided them, and these two differing emotions will give rise to new conflict.
なるほど
So
ね。
that's it. Wait, so you knew that Ilias would return to the hive? And then you pretended to keep him around just to fool Siraj? Wouldn't expect any less from you, Alhaitham. Once the collective consciousness bugs out, we'll take that opportunity to... wait. It's back to normal already.
Alhaitham, I told you. You're too arrogant. Did you really think that your little scheme would be enough to destabilize
ほ
the
いほい
hive?
ほい。
Ilias's return had indeed introduced abnormal emotions into the hive, but such a meager drop cannot give rise to waves. Your struggle has been in vain, and it's time to end it. Allow me to show you what makes the collective consciousness so formidable.
So many monsters. Where did they come from? And something feels off about them.
I also integrated monsters into the collective, though I ranked them last. Even so, they are part of it. Despite their lack of intelligence, perfect cooperation can be achieved, much like soldiers who have undergone strict training. Now then, drown in endless waves of monsters. You will all pay for your ceaseless arrogance.
ああ、はいはいはいはい。
Hey, Alhaitham? Your plan didn't work, so what do we do now?
I've already sent my gift to the collective. It'll take some time for the recipient to receive it. You two just need to brace yourselves for the nuisance in front of us.
Well, alright. Paimon doesn't know how you get so confident, but we'll hold them off for as long as we can.
パイモンちゃん何もしないくせに、まあいっか。いや、いいんですけど。
I see everything.
Surrender!
あ、外しちゃった、瀬野くん。
Judgment is upon us.
あー、飛ばないでー。
Alhaitham, isn't that of a person?
But it has to be done. He must be eliminated so that we can evolve.
Hold the line.
Here you are.
You see? That is the will of the collective. Even with the hatred gone, they continue their work. An external anomaly cannot shake the collective stability.
はいはい。おお。
Rest and rebuild. Everyone hold hands.
あ、待って。たかがリシュボラントラにこんな、あ、ちょっと。
He won't hold out.
バブちゃん。
He's a lot tougher than we imagined.
Something's gone wrong with the academia.
マハマトラが。
What's going on? What's with this sudden influx of information? Silence! As the Overmind, I command you!
んー
I see everything.
まだいる敵って、あ、3匹いた。よいしょ。
Allow
えい
me.
あ、痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い。痛い痛い痛い。いじめられた。
How is that possible? Why hasn't it been resolved?
おお。大きいの出てきた。
Judgment?
The will of the collective cannot be
痛
wrong.
い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い。
The Overmind must have made an error in his judgment.
But Siraj is the most intelligent among us. He is the one. His judgment is the optimal one.
Is that true? Not necessarily.
痛い痛い痛い痛い。なんなのあの子。めっちゃドタドタしてる。そんなだったっけ？こんなに時間かけて戦ったことないからわかんねえな。
Stay turn loose.
Nowhere to run. Judgment is upon us.
終わっちゃった。さよならバイバイ。
Don't you have an easy way to figure this out? You were only designated as number 36? What a shame. From what I can see, your talents merit a smaller number. Putting aside the validity of the data, it is meaningless to judge individuals based solely on their jnana energy.
なるほど。
What you said to Ilias has now become a memory shared by all members of the Hive. I see it now! You've channeled and amplified their selfish desires! You're trying to destroy my Hive from the inside out!
Human minds are not infinitely pliable, and your Hive has stretched many of them to their limit. Once your authority as Overmind starts to wane, it won't be long before your subjects snap back. Is it worth living here like a machine? Being a tool for the rest of my life? As soon as one person begins to have these thoughts, selfishness, doubt, and fear will propagate, thanks to the web of consciousness that you built. At this stage, your so-called Hive has already fallen.
It's not over yet. I am the Overmind! There has to be a way!
It's too late. Once the desires of the Hive accumulate, beyond a certain threshold, they will kill their king.
Oh.
I wouldn't have suffered such a disgraceful defeat if I was the Overmind.
My number shouldn't be so far down on the list. Siraj is a liar.
This isn't what we agreed to.
I should be the one in your position.
The Hive shut down?
ごめん、瀬野くんのあれが出ちゃった。よいしょ。
What happened just now?
Members of a collective consciousness are more likely to reach a consensus because of their shared memories and emotions. For example, Ilias did have differing perceptions, but he ultimately followed the collective consciousness's judgment. However, this system is far from perfect. Based on this logic, the collective consciousness will generate an intractable diffusion effect upon encountering negative emotions. The disturbance that Ilias caused wasn't for naught. It made the collective question the Overmind.
Setbacks in the plan further amplify doubt, which diminishes the Overmind's influence. This inevitably causes the collective to generate negative emotions.
Apprehension, disappointment, panic, avarice. These negative emotions can be very well hidden, as humans generally do not share completely transparent channels of communication. But in the Hive, where there are no secrets, negativity can spread like a tidal wave. Of course, what I said to Ilias was the trigger for all of this. A few words were enough. Believe in the power of words, Siraj.
You were already thinking of a way to destroy the collective consciousness. Even back then, you knew that Ilias was the bait all along? But how did you know? Since when?
I knew it from the moment I saw him. Moreover, I never looked down on you. My opinion of you has always been objective. You have a naive view towards the concepts of collective consciousness and human evolution, but you are intelligent and disciplined. You would never let a test subject escape. Mistakes like that are beneath you, and you also won't leave any mistake without a resolution.
I never thought I'd hear those words come from you. But if you're saying that out of sympathy, spare me. I know very well that you've never viewed me as an equal. When you were with us, you always had a distant look in your eyes. You don't need to hide it. I know it better than anyone else. The arrogance that comes with being a genius. Nobody likes being treated like that.
Your perspective is entirely born from your habitual way of looking at things. From your perspective, you probably think I'm like you, someone who doesn't fit in. However, I've never placed myself on a pedestal. I just want to distance myself from meaningless noise and look at everything objectively. On the other hand, you have failed to come to terms with who you truly are. You care too much about winning and how others perceive you.
You mean to say that I'm the arrogant one here?
Is that not so? Arrogant and emotionally fragile. You view people as a simple, mediocre collective, while you regard me as one of your kind.
Regardless, I have lost. You can take me back to the academia to stand trial.
You will stand trial, yes. But arresting people isn't in my job description. I'm just an ordinary staff member. I believe it is the General Mahamatra's duty to escort you away.
はい。ちょっと待って。いつの間に
What are you doing here?
ほほほほほ。
I followed the symbols. Looks like things have already been settled.
マジ。ひえ。瀬野くん来ちゃった。あわわわわわ。いつの間に読んだん
Symbols?
I left a similar picture in my letter to him, and I made several similar symbols on the way here.
Wait, what do you mean you left a letter? Oh, Paimon remembers! When Paimon first saw you, Arav said that you had left a letter for Sino.
はいはい。
So you really did know that something was up with Ilias from the start! You lied to us too!
It'd be best if you didn't spout nonsense. I never employed any mode of trickery on you. By the way, I came across some information at the Academia a few days ago. If you practice the method discussed therein, your vision may improve. Do you need it?
Seriously? This guy. By the way, Sino, Paimon heard that Siraj sent more people to the Academia. We can't let those jerks get away!
Don't worry. The Matra have started screening suspicious persons. And we've already arrested many of Siraj's associates. This was likely one factor that caused the Hive's consciousness to waver. Everything went as you predicted, All-Hatham.
Good. Seems like the interesting part is already over. I'll leave the arrests to you all. See you.
See you じゃねえよ。本当に興味のあるところだけ。びっくりした。瀬野くん出てくると思わなかったな。マハマトラが普通に出てくると思ってたから。ちょっとびっくりした。ちょっと待ってくださいね。ね。ちょっとまあ。じゃあ、ナヒーダ様で。
Oh no. Oh no. I was involved in all these plans to get rid of the acting Grand Sage? What came over me? How could I do something like this?
We were accomplices without knowing it. But I'm afraid that Al-Haytham might pressure the Matra into giving us heavier sentences. Whether he's the scribe or the acting Grand Sage, we can't afford to offend him. It seems our future at the Academia will be full of uncertainties.
あんまりそういうことこいつは
We
気
can
にし
discuss
な
the
そうだ
future
けど。
later. Leaving the collective left me with a strange sense of guilt. I didn't feel anything towards Al-Haytham at first, since he wasn't well known. All the opinions I heard about him were negative, though. Siraj made us hate Al-Haytham, and we blindly accepted that hatred and thought of him as a bad person. From how things look, we've done a lot of irrational things.
I guess we're getting what we deserve. Could you help us apologize to Al-Haytham?
Sure. Paimon will help you tell Al-Haytham. But
あんまり気にしてないと
whether he
思
chooses
う
to
けど。
forgive you is up to him.
It's okay. No matter what he chooses, apologizing will make us feel slightly better. If he chooses to remember this, we're prepared for our punishment.
It's time to go.
Let's go.
So, were they all duped? We can ask Al-Haytham about that later.
looks like I can't exist as Siraj number 36. Yet, my life as Ilyas goes on. When I was at Gandharvaville, I thought about whether I should just come forward with the truth. But I didn't have the courage then. So in the end, I lost my sense of justice, but I also wasn't able to conform.
Ilyas?
Don't be sad. I'm the one who deceived you. However, I didn't come out of this completely empty-handed. The moment the hive collapsed, an idea popped into my head. I realized that the collective I was always trying to fit into wasn't as powerful as I had imagined. Understanding that gave me courage somehow. Perhaps one day I could be just like Alhaitham and not care about what anyone else thinks.
You can do it.
気にしないのはちょっとあれかと思う。
Thanks. Well, I should get going. I'm one of the primary suspects in the case, so I'll have to receive my due punishment. Can you keep this a secret from my parents and my sister? I just don't want them to worry. Also, please apologize to Alhaitham for me. Goodbye, you two.
All the test subjects have been taken away.
Hi.
I'll have my subordinates seal the place, retrieve all documentation, and destroy the system. Are you too hurt? I brought bandages and hemostatics.
Hyman's fine. Just a little tired.
Get some rest. Alhaitham is probably waiting for you at the entrance. Go see him when you're done here. Watch out for any of Siraj's associates who might still be in hiding. If you encounter anything you can't take care of, come find me at the academia.
Okay, you stay safe too, Sino. Let's go meet up with Alhaitham.
びっくりした。ちょっと急な瀬野くんは心臓に悪いっすね。ふう。よしよしよし。とりあえずこれをもらって。もうみんないない。連行されちゃった。連行されちゃったね。よいしょっと。よいしょ。お、なんかばっちゃんって。
The matter's settled. We can return now. I actually thought it would have been settled sooner. This took much longer than I expected. Judging by your faces, it seems like you two still have some questions. I respect your curiosity, but I'm off the clock, so I'm not going to field any questions.
Hey, we're not your colleagues.
You couldn't tell that was an excuse just now?
What? Are you kidding me? You're not leaving today until you explain what happened back at Siraj's secret base.
See ya.
帰った。
Hold it right there.
こいつ帰りやがっ
Are you done? Your behavior is reminding me of some other people.
Stop changing the subject.
It's too much of a hassle to explain everything from the top. You know what? Come with me.
Where to?
You'll know when we get there.
はあ、着いたらわかる。どういうこと？え？待って、どこマップのどこを指してますか？スメールし、なんか変なとこだな。ちょっと待って、ここから行ける？なんかナヒダちゃん走らせるのちょっとかわいそうだけど頑張って。よいしょ。お家？え？ちょマジですか？声でかくなっちゃったじゃん。え？
Is this your home?
え、でかっ、広っ。
Yes.
What's with you
Yes,
all of a
Janelle.
sudden? Being all polite and inviting us over?
あ、いるし。ちょっと待ってくださいよ、
Ah,
急
you're
に。
back. Quick, come help me see if this painting's all straightened. And... Huh? Who are they?
Stop making a fuss. They're obviously guests.
You're not from the academia, are you?
え、違いますね。えい。
I'm unsure she's seen you before. You're that person from that time in that one place!
Wait, what? How do you know me? Oh no, do people know
こ
that
こ
I
に住ん
live
でいること
here?
が。
What? You're embarrassed only now of all times?
Oh, you guys are roommates!
Yes, we are, but keep that to yourselves. Please, don't tell anyone else.
I keep a few books on collectives and the subconscious here at home. I'll get them. You all chat in the meantime.
はあ。
Hey! You're leaving just like that? What's the deal, I'll hate them?
顔。ソラくんの顔が。ちょっと待って。
Sorry, I know we've only just met, but I have to ask. Are you, you wouldn't happen to be actors that I'll hate them hired to pretend to be his friends, would you?
なんだそれ。
What?
Guess not. I've never seen him invite friends home before, so please excuse my surprise. You guys get it, right? You know, with his temperament and stuff.
いや、まあいいんだけどさ。
But aren't you his friend?
すごい言われよう。
I wouldn't say friends exactly. Okay, well, we used to be. But
昔はって
we're not
何？
anymore. Don't worry about it. My name is Kave. I'm sorry to have met you under these circumstances.
はい。
Anyway, please don't say anything about me living here.
You seem like you got a lot going on. So maybe Samora will make Paimon shut up.
Are you serious? How could you... Ah, of course. You're all Hatham's friends.
What? That was a normal response. You exposed your own weakness.
Still, why do you have to treat me like he does?
Judging by the deafening din coming from the living room, you all must be getting along quite well.
Entertain your own friends, why don't you?
I'll leave the books here.
めっちゃ本置かれたんだけど。
Paimon's dizzy from reading. This is way too complicated. Why don't we just ask questions instead? Paimon wants to know, oh, how did you know about the collective consciousness's weakness?
A year ago, Siraj presented his thesis to the Grand Sage, who offhandedly asked for my opinion. I actually responded with 2 lines of reasoning. The first, as I've already said, was that his research was on human evolution, a subject prohibited by the academia. The second was that I thought the direction of his research was too extreme, but his approach too conservative.
Wait, that's too conservative? He built such a large lab, gathered all those people, and even tried to get rid of you!
One way to stabilize a collective consciousness is to remove the test subject's humanity altogether. The optimal solution to achieve collective consciousness is to focus solely on the overmind and treat the other test subjects as tools.
That's way too dangerous. You're
でも
not
非常に
seriously
合理的だ
considering
わ。
that, are you? 'Cause, whew.
I'm merely stating the facts. If Siraj had done that, I would have felt his work to be just as senseless. It's impossible for any species to evolve overnight, and humans without their humanity cannot be called humans. That's why the academia prohibited research into human evolution. Most research of this kind tends to run contrary to evolution.
Huh. Paimon gets it now.
Ha! That's rich coming from you. If humans aren't humans without their humanity, then you'll probably evolve into some other species in another decade, I wager.
What about you? Are you going to devolve into a fungus?
At least I'd be a fungus with empathy. Sorry for eavesdropping, but what happened to you guys? Are you in trouble?
Sort of. We encountered a strange researcher that had it out for us.
Are you all okay?
カーベ顔綺麗だな。
Huh. So that's how things went.
プレイヤブル来るかしら。
Such is life. If only he'd known, Alhaitham could have stayed indoors today, and the whole thing could have been avoided, right? Plus, he could have helped me with the housework for once. See those books? They've been sitting there waiting for someone to sort through them for an age. If you're not gonna read them, tidy them away. They don't belong there.
えっと。
Can you feel the awkwardness in the air? I hope you're aware of your lack of conversational skills.
Oh, so the pot's calling the kettle black, is he? Well, having said all that, are you okay?
I'm doing quite well. Much better than that painting you're trying to hang on the wall.
You don't understand anything. Stop criticizing my taste in decoration.
また怒った。
Paimon can't tell which of them is more problematic. Let's just get this over with and leave.
You whisper very loudly.
Oh, yeah, Paimon's been told that.
Do you have any more questions?
Let Paimon think. Oh, by the way, the other researchers apologized to you. They hope that you can forgive them.
I bear them no ill will. More accurately, I don't really care about what they think of me. To some extent, they were also fooled by Siraj. The Matra will take this into account at their trials.
Ilias also said that he wanted to tell us the truth at Gandharvaville, but he didn't have the courage. He apologized to you too.
It doesn't matter. I never considered asking him to come forward with the truth. Judging from his experiences, he's more courageous than the average person. There's no need to lay even more criticism on him. Criticizing the brave only shows how weak you yourself are. I'm going for dinner in 10 minutes, so I'll field one last question.
Paimon doesn't have any more questions. How about you? Oh, yeah, that's a good question. You only started investigating with the Matra at the Academia because you were interested in something, right? But after meeting Siraj, it didn't seem like you were interested in him or his experiment.
I had no interest in him personally, but I was curious as to why so many people were willing to form a collective consciousness with him. I now understand the reason. Correct. The fall of the sages and the shutdown of the Akasha terminals deeply affected the Academia. The fact that Siraj's project attracted so much interest despite not being approved speaks to the lack of research projects as of late. As the acting Grand Sage, I'll have to figure something out. In addition, what happened to Ilias is worth our attention. Reporting academic fraud was the right thing to do. He didn't deserve the outcome that he had received.
Paimon understands now. Oh, you're pretty serious when it comes to work, huh?
I think minimum viable seriousness is a more apt description. I'll do my best to take care of this mess until my resignation is approved.
Wait, your resignation?
Yes. I've already submitted my resignation to the Academia. Soon, I'll resign as the acting Grand Sage and go back to being its scribe. I don't think Siraj knew about that. If he had waited just a few more days before acting, I would have already resigned. What he'd do then wouldn't have been any concern of mine. However, even without my input, his unstable model would have collapsed for some other reason, so it makes no difference.
But why do you want to resign?
I'm not suited to be a sage, nor do I want to be one. The official process to select the new sages is already underway, but this process is long and takes far too much time. If I serve as acting Grand Sage for too long, the position might become permanent. That would be troublesome. This job isn't something I want to spend the rest of my life doing.
長く勤めたらそれだけ。
It's important to keep your priorities straight. Well, It's about time. You two should grab some dinner as well.
Oh, now that you say that, Paimon's kinda hungry. See ya! We're gonna grab some yummies!
笑っちゃう。
See ya.
いや、ちょっと待って、ちょっと、お家探索していいですか？お家探索していいですか？お家広くない？こんなアホみたいに広い家住んでんの？初期館ってどんだけ金もらってんの？めっちゃ家豪華じゃね？待って、ソファーしかね、ここで寝んのかな？
The name Siraj doesn't ring a bell. Was he in your class?
おまけ話が。
He isn't someone who would leave an impression, so it's expected that you
印
don't
象に
remember
残る
him.
ようになって。
I've always had a hard time appreciating the way that the academia pressures people by labeling them as geniuses. But even so, the academia can't be left to you. Or perhaps I should say that I'm delighted to see that you have a base amount of self-awareness. If the people in the academia haven't gone mad, they'd know that I'm much more suited to be a sage than you.
And I suppose they'd let everyone know that your career as a sage will be as shaky as that painting.
Again, that's mighty rich coming from someone about to resign. In a few days, you'll be managing files again. You'll be back at rock bottom.
But my salary will likely stay the same.
Wait, what? How come? Why do you get special treatment?
At least I don't have to be an architectural designer who works himself to death just to get a smile from his client.
You...
ほんと、とことんって感じだな。
I took time out of my day to clean the living room for you, and this is the thanks I get for it? I'd have been better off catching up on my work. I still have designs to finish.
Make sure to pay back the rent you owe me. I'm going to buy some furniture with that Mora.
What? Are you trying to annoy me to death? The decorations you buy keep getting uglier and uglier. What's the point of having a boring wood carving in your house?
You'll have to blame that on my financial freedom.
金があるんだから仕方ないだろ。
Fine. Go ahead and hide behind your financial success if you want.
なん
If
て
we
発言
forget
だ。
Mora for a second, do you have anything of true value to boast about?
I think I'd have too many choices, to be honest. You, on the other hand, can you think of any redeeming features at all?
Artistry, for sure. You don't know the first
めちゃ
thing
め
about
ちゃ喧嘩
interior
するじゃん。
design. Don't go off buying random furniture unless you take me with you.
So I'll have to bring you along and then buy you drinks?
Of course.
なんで？
But why would I do that? It would just be another form of a loan, and you'd have to pay me back eventually.
Can't you just be nice and not ask for the Mora back?
なんでよ。
Pretending that you're not in debt is as ridiculous as pretending you're not living in someone else's home. Word will get out sooner or later.
Speaking of which, your friends won't say anything, right? Tell them to keep all this a secret.
There's no need to hide it so carefully. I think the truth's already out. You're such a lightweight that a few drinks at the tavern had you spilling all your beans.
What? No, it can't be.
バカなのかこいつ。いや、バカ。すごいおバカさんだな。なんか愛すべきバカって感じだな。ちょっと可愛く思えてきたな。紐って飛んだクズだなって思ってたけど。
The name Siraj doesn't ring a bell. Was he in your...
He isn't someone who would leave an impression.
I've always had a hard time appreciating the way that the academia pressures people by labeling them as geniuses. But even so, the academia can't be left to you. Or perhaps I should say that I'm delighted.
And I suppose they'd let...
Again, that's
But my salary will...
Wait, what?
At least I don't have to be an architectural designer who works himself to death
中
just to get a
見たか
smile
っ
from...
たんだけど。ちょっと待って、見れないってことね。
Make sure to pay back the rent you owe me.
でもとりあえず本棚がすごいってことは分かった。
You'll have to blame that on my financial freedom.
Fine.
I think I'd have too many choices, to be honest.
ごめんごめん。
You, on the other hand, Can you think of any redeeming feat?
Artistry, for...
So I'll have to bring you...
Of course.
But why would I do that?
Can't you just be nice?
Pretending that you're...
Speaking of which, your friends won't...
There's no need to hide it.
What?
ちょっとごめん。見れるんだと思ったの。これどうにかして中見れねえのかな。ちょっとこれ以上近寄ると会話が発生してしまうので、ちょっと、無理かな。ちょっとね、どうにかなりませんかね。これ以上は無理だな。でもなんとなく見えるよ。ほほほほ。よし。ヒーラ様、こそこそ帰りますよ。めっちゃいい家住んでる。とりあえず平屋ね、平屋。2階建てとかではないことが分かった。この辺とかってなんか先あんのかな。風呂とかねえけど、多分どっかにあんだろうな。多分。ここで寝るのかな。なんかソファーベッドみたいな感じなのかな。寝室が別にあるのか。ちょっと中めっちゃ見たいのに入れないってしょうがないね。よし。もう一回入れないのかな。出ちゃうと入れてもらえない。